Hey folks, this clip is brought to you by the fastest growing sports book in Tennessee, ZenSports. Enter code A to Z TN, ATOZ TN to earn a welcome bonus that gives you 5% cash back on your total betting volume for your first 15 days of betting. That is ZenSports.
Yes, I would ask you this, kind of to that point there. Next year, you are going to have different pieces around Nico with this offense. You would have Chris Brazzell. You would have hopefully your O-line healthy. You kind of still have a spot, a right guard where you got to find somebody.
We do.
But you have and then those running backs that you saw tonight. And do you see this being the setup for Nico where he's going to be a star? Because, I mean, this is going to be a conversation all off season. How good is it going to be? Is it going to be Heisman hype? Is it going to be this and that? Like, do you think it's really setting up that way?
And the only thing that I'm really concerned about, and I'm saying this is because we did the same thing last year with Joe. Now, obviously, we know skill set he's better than Joe. We all know that. Talks we had all year was we can sit here and complain all day long, but Heupel's not going to make the move. You know what I'm saying? And we said that all year. Joe had the performance of a lifetime in the Orange Bowl last year against Clemson. Right? I just don't want it. Now, I think he's got a really good head on his shoulders, Nico. I think he's got a big skill set. We just got to make sure and this is where I said at halftime, I think Heupel did a good thing. He only threw the ball 19 times today. We ran the ball 54 times. That's not going to be us during the season next year, though, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like today, the game plan was let's run it as many times as we can. Let's get out of here with a win. Don't make you win the game. Next year, it has to be a whole different ball game. You know what I'm saying? To compete in the SEC and then add in Oklahoma and Texas, they're playing tonight in the Final Four. So it's not like they're a slouch. We won't be able to go that way where, hey, just don't lose it for us. It'll be, hey, man, you got to go win the game. That's my only because we didn't let him do that today, which we didn't need to let him do it today, though, if that makes sense. It was a smart coaching plan is what I'm getting at. Yes. I just want to, I'm intrigued to see the moment when they go, all right, 2-minute drill, just go. Because we haven't got to see it. But I do think, saying that, I do think this is going to be the next at least 2 years. Because, even though he redshirted this year, it still counted as a year. I do think the next 2 years are going to be really good chances for us to be and make a run in the playoff because it's 12 teams. I think we'll have a chance to make a run because somebody asked the question earlier, and I'm sorry I forgot who it is. I didn't want to scroll back up, but going with the portal, I do think his performance today, just with his composure and those things, are going to help receivers and running backs and O linemen and tight ends, especially on the offensive side of the ball, want to come to Knoxville.
Yes. You really saw the proof that this is the dude you're probably going to want to play with. And that's exciting. I do like the schedule for next year. You start with Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State. Then you got to go to Norman and play at Oklahoma. But you have that nice.
And you don't know how Oklahoma's going to be either because they lost their quarterback.
Yeah.
To the portal. Who knows?
And they lost the bowl game. So.
Yeah, if you look at our schedule, it actually is set up. If Nico plays well and manages the game like he did today, we got a chance to make a freaking run. Honestly,
it does.
I really think so.
It does feel like, you had those few years with the Titans where they had Derrick Henry and Tannehill was playing well, and you were like, okay, this is the window. You got to do something. Well, they blew it. Congratulations there. But it feels like that where you look at this setup and you go, if the defense can be decent and the offense with Nico is what we think it's going to be, this is the window. The window is opening.
Yes.
And
we just got to get, like we've said, we have to get a few more players. We got to get a few more receivers that essentially don't, and I'm not saying this about Keaton, but essentially don't pull up on a perfectly thrown go ball. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I don't know if he, like I said, don't know if the sun, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. But, we need the receivers that make the contested back shoulder catch like Keaton did.
It's football season, and it's time to switch to ZenSports, the fastest growing sports book in Tennessee, changing the bonus game with their cash rewards program. When you sign up for ZenSports with code A2ZTN, ATOZTN, earn a welcome bonus that gives you 5% cash back on your total betting volume for your first 15 days of betting. And if you have friends who bet on sports, share your ZenSports referral bonus code with them, and you will earn 3% of their betting volume for their first 6 months of betting on ZenSports with no cap on how much you can earn. So what are you waiting for? Stop wasting time and money on other sports books when you could be earning real cash rewards with ZenSports. Download today on the App Store at zensports.com. And your wallet will thank you later. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older in Tennessee to bet. That is ZenSports. Go download it now.
Right? We need those guys. We need to get a proven wide receiver, just like Florida State did, to go help their quarterback. And next thing you know, you go from, like we've been under Heupel, we're competitive, 11-win season. Okay, then we have – a 9-win season. Okay, next thing you know, they're 13-0.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need, and we're a few pieces away, right? And I'm not saying like 5 or 6 pieces. We're like 2 or 3 pieces.
Yes,
of just skilled position players on both sides of the ball, especially DB. But we get a couple DBs and then at least one big play wide receiver to complement our middle and underneath stuff, then we're going to be dangerous because I love our running back room. Our O-line, we've shown we can still rush for 230 or over 200, we'll say it that way, with a plug-and-place O-line in this type of system. So it's once we get that, and once again, I do think a couple people have asked this. I do think Nico's performance today and the hype around him is going to help in the portal.
I hope so. And maybe Brazel is that guy. Maybe if you get Evan Stewart, he can be that guy that just boosts you. Mike,
Yeah.
And Boomhauer says in the comments right here, it's Mike Matthews. He looks he performed at some event this week.
I saw that today.
He's big time standout there. He really looks like a dude. So the opportunity is going to be there with Nico, in my opinion, after you watch what we just watched. 4 touchdowns from this kid, 3 of them rushing, 1 through the air. A very solid performance in his first start ever. Like, you just look at that as your first start ever. Joe had experience before that Orange Bowl, and he went out and he had a mature, solid performance in that Orange Bowl and led Tennessee to 8 wins this year.
You're right. He had been in college for 4 years already at the time. So no,
exactly.
I completely agree with that. And you know what? And I think I could be wrong, but I think you'll agree with this. Out of the whole game, I think the most impressive play, and yes, it was a touchdown, but it wasn't the touchdown that was impressive to me, was after the strip sack. All right, we go under center, we run the ball, boom. But we do the play fake, boot left, and the awareness to kind of give a little shoulder fake and then duck underneath to run. That was what was nice to see, because now instead of it just being, lower your shoulder or try to run to the pylon, make a play, keep them on their heels. If they're on their heels, on any defensive player, if they're on their heels, they're screwed. Mm-hmm. I think that was the most impressive play today, including the back shoulder throw, which is high praise because the back shoulder throw, that was hard. That is a hard throw to make. It was just the awareness to have the savviness, I guess I would say, to do that type of play. And then obviously getting in was icing on the cake.
He just seems like he's what's even the right way to say it? Ahead of he's already kind of playing like he's been in college a while. And I guess in some sense, I mean, he's been here since
he's been here years. So that definitely helps, because he was at the Orange Bowl practice last year. He went through spring ball. That only helps.
It looks like he's been around for a minute, and that's, well, I mean, that composure. I mean, Jason says in the comment, my biggest compliment on Nico is how comfortable he was in that first start. Absolutely. And
I also, like I said, I also give credit to Heupel for building a game plan to say, essentially, what are you super comfortable with? Let's go play productive today. 63.5% completion percentage today. that in your first start,
Heck yeah.
especially against a defense that statistically was ranked in the top 10. That was impressive to come out and do that. And it wasn't just, I think we had, I want to say like 3, maybe 4 of what I call the smoke screens, just throw it out there. A lot of them were 15-yard stop routes, a couple dig routes. Obviously, would have loved the go route to Keaton to be caught by Keaton by not, had the back shoulder. But I guess the biggest thing that we did see, and we've talked about all year, we do got to shore up the inside of the O-line. We can't have the sacks on second down and third down. And we've talked about that all year long, that we got to shore that up. Now, can we get around it? Yes. It would just be nice not to have to.
Yeah, I mean, you can do the Josh Dobbs and just go like, well, he has enough skill to scramble around and make a play and do these things, but you would hope that you don't have to do that.
It would be nice to just say, hey, we don't have to do that.
Exactly. That would be nice. And I mean, it was a prime example tonight with the walk-ons that were playing. I mean, you just that can't be what it is